What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Rustbeard, and today we're going to be discussing The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. A lot of people that I've told I played this game, or a lot of my friends and stuff that are kind of on the fence about getting it and so forth, have asked me, is it worth it? Why haven't I heard of it? What is the deal with, like, is it fun? I've seen a lot of reviews that say it's not very good, all this kind of stuff. Well, what I'm going to be talking about today is whether or not it's right for you, whether or not you should pick up this game and play it, if it's something that you might find interesting or something that maybe is not your cup of tea. We're going to be discussing some of those things today. So first things first, should you buy Return to Moria? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's pretty cheap. It's only like 25 bucks, and I think that if it's something that has piqued your interest in the slightest, then 25 bucks is probably a good bet. You might as well grab it now and give it a shot. Honestly, I mean, the best thing that you can do in a scenario like this is obviously wait until there's like a discounted version of it or so forth, but honestly, 25 bucks isn't that bad. Now, on a couple of occasions, I do think that the $25 price tag is definitely worth it, absolutely. And I will say that if this was a full price $60 or $70 game, I probably wouldn't buy it. Now, there's obviously reasons for that. It's not that it's a bad game, it's not that it's not fun. Personally, I think it's pretty fun. But there's a few stipulations that I think need to be addressed first. And the first one being, would I have fun playing this by myself? No, probably not. I don't think that it would be a game that I personally enjoy by myself, but that's also because I enjoy playing games with other people. That being said, do I think this is a game that's better with a ton of other people? No, I don't. However, I do think that it is more fun with a friend if you can find one person to play this with. For me, it was my buddy Skylar. We played this for several weeks, just like, you know, on and off at night when he had time and I had time. We would jump on and we would go digging in the mines and build and explore and find stuff and find new recipes and craft shit and all that kind of stuff. It was a good time. It's a fun time to just kind of hang out and chill with a friend, or explore with a friend and catch up with each other and all that kind of stuff. Now, I personally think that that's worth it to me, because I come from a place of enjoying MMOs a lot, so yeah, naturally I do play with a lot of other people, but this one I don't think would benefit from a lot of people, just because the idea of what the story is going for doesn't really lend itself too well with a ton of people. However, with one friend, oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe two friends, sure. If you have more than two friends, whatever. But I would not play this with like a load of people. I think it would take away a lot of the point. I think it would take away a lot of the charm. I think it would take away a lot of the fun that comes with just exploring with one of your buddies. It'll also take away the challenge, because I will say, if you're on a regular difficulty and maybe even a little bit harder of a difficulty, multiple people, you're gonna wipe through this thing easy. The campaign, absolutely really cool. I loved the Easter eggs and the little nods to the Fellowship and stuff strewn about the place. I think that was pretty cool. Finding all the ranger pages and stuff like that to put into the ranger journals and whatnot to get more stuff unlocked, and finding different recipes and crafting materials and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's a fun time. I think that if you like a survival-based crafting kind of game, then you probably would enjoy this, especially if you have a buddy to play with. Now, I know there's a lot of people that want to play solo on all of the games that they play. That's perfectly cool. I think that you could probably find enjoyment in that. Now, when we started playing, the sandbox mode was not in it, and I also don't think that you could customize the difficulty to the same degree as you can now. Now, you can do that. So, even for a solo player, sure, I think you could probably find some enjoyment with this game, because you can customize every bit of the difficulty. There's levels that you can customize, the amount of hordes you encounter, there's the amount of treasure you gather, the amount of ore you like, there's a bunch of different sliders and stuff to customize the difficulty to your liking and to your playstyle. So granted, if you did have a couple extra friends that were playing with you, you could probably ramp all of that stuff up, and it might be a fun little challenge. But I will say, everything ramped up with 2 people was a little bit too difficult for Skylar and I. We were getting our asses handed to us, but it was fun. It was still fun, and we just bumped a couple of those down a little bit so we still had a challenge, but we didn't want to get completely clean wiped across the floor every single time we encountered enemies. $25, you got a friend, you're playing Return to Moria. That's it. You're having a good time, right? Well, unfortunately, there is one big caveat that I cannot stress this enough, because it's probably something they should have fixed ahead of time, and they probably should have fixed it before they released the most recent update for it with the sandbox mode. But it is kind of buggy, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little buggy. There are certain points where, like, you just cannot go past certain barriers and such. Like, I don't have the best graphics card, I don't have the best computer in the world, but I have a decent one, okay? I have a decent one. I can do raids and stuff in WoW on full graphics, no problem whatsoever. I can play this for the most part on full graphics, no problem. I can play Warzone on this, full graphics, no problem. There were several points where you would go through a wall, like you dig through a wall to get to the next area, and there would just be this white dotted grid across the thing that was like blocking me from going into the area, and that was extremely frustrating. I will say that happened quite a bit. Now there's also another bug. I don't know if it was just my connection or if it was Skylar's connection, because he was hosting a lot of this time or what, but there are these map stones, and the map stones are basically your fast travel points, your waypoints and stuff that you can fast travel between, which I think is a fun system, by the way, because you have to create the map stones, so you have to build the map stones where you want them in order to use them. So you do have to go explore and find places that you want to do that with. There are a couple of them that are already there that you just have to repair, but for the most part, you have to craft your own map stones. Now, if you're playing with 2 people, oh god, I can't even imagine doing this with 3 or 4 people, but if you're fast traveling to an area and you both fast travel before, so if both of you fast travel at the same time and one of you loads in first, but your other person, like say Skylar fast traveled first, he clicked the button first and then I clicked it after, if he's not fully loaded into the zone before you get fully loaded into the zone and vice versa, the other person will just be zoned in at a completely different point of the map. So it's all within the same area, yeah, but like the Elven Quarter, for example, we have our main base set up in the Elven Quarter. If he fast traveled to the Elven Quarter at the same time that I did and he loaded in first, I would be filled in at the other end of the Elven Quarter, and I'd have to run all the way back to the base instead of next to the map stone where I should have been spawned in. I don't know if they fixed this yet. I don't know if it was a bug at all. Maybe it's just, I don't know, but it was very frustrating, I will say that. I have faith that they are going to be fixing some of these things. I have faith that they're going to be updating this and fixing a lot of the bugs and stuff like that. So that is not a game changer for me. That's not a giant disappointment that's going to get me to stop playing it. I still look forward to playing with my buddy Skylar and hanging out with him and so forth on there. I will say it's just something to think about. Now, for $25 though, really the bugs that I did encounter are minor. They are not enough to make me feel like the $25 is too much, you know, to ask for. So I would say absolutely try this out. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, if you like the dwarves, which who doesn't like the dwarves, come on now, and you want to go and explore Moria with a buddy or even solo, I would highly recommend this game. There's a lot of really cool like things and mechanics and stuff like that. Obviously there's a few things that probably could have been better. I mean, there obviously always is, but I mean, you get to drink ale and stuff like that to give you certain buffs and shit to go through. I mean, come on, that's fun, that's cool. So 100% I would recommend this if that is the kind of thing that you are into. If you're not really a Lord of the Rings fan and you don't like survival games, definitely don't play this game. I mean, you do have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to like watch your darkness meter. Like if you're going too far down into the darkness or whatever, you have to make sure you have light with you at all times and so forth. There's a lot of things like that you do have to watch for, and obviously the higher the difficulty is, the more you have to watch for these things. So if that's not your cup of tea, if that's not your kind of gameplay, then by all means. However, you can lower the difficulty on a lot of that stuff so it's not so daunting. And yeah, dude, it's a fun time. I had a good time. The campaign was super fun. Skylar and I just recently started a sandbox, and that's a new mode where basically it's a little bit more random. There's a lot more randomness in the generative areas and zones and stuff like that. And the campaign is not at the forefront so much because obviously it's more of a explore and build kind of thing. It's not so much a follow the campaign storyline. But I would highly recommend 100% doing the campaign first, getting a feel for the game, understanding the game, get the story or whatever. And if you're having a good time with it, by all means, start a sandbox because it's pretty fun so far. We haven't gotten too far with it, but it's pretty cool. The sandbox mode, I think, is going to be super fun. They just added a bunch of new recipes and designs and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what they come up with next. That being said, I just wanted to make this quick video talking about Lord of the Rings Return to Moria because me and Skylar had a great time playing the campaign, and we are definitely looking forward to seeing what we can with the new sandbox mode. And I don't know, I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth promoting and getting other people to play. And I would like to talk to more people about it. So by all means, let me know down in the comments below. Have you guys played Return to Moria? If so, did you enjoy it? Let me know. Also, what is your dwarf's name? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, make sure you give me a giant thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.